Welcome to week 1 of Social and Political Theory. In this week's recorded lecture, I will start to explore how we should think about theory and its value, giving a sense of the kind of theoretical terrains we'll be exploring in this course. So, what is theory? In this course, in general, I'll be using social theory as synonymous with sociological theory and largely draw on that discipline. Okay, Gernov in 2011 notes that sociology can usefully be described as the study of the relationship between the individual and society, investigating how human thought, action, and interaction shape and are shaped by society. So there is a common perception that theory is kind of somehow removed from lived experience or the reality of the everyday world, as though theory somehow goes on in a specialised space rather than something that can be used in the everyday space of the world. This course then aims to familiarise you with theory and to equip you to use theory. This lets you realise that theorists are dealing with practical problems. They're trying to find a way or come up with other ways of understanding reality, the real world. In this course, I want to shift away from the idea that theory is something out there, instead moving to a way of seeing it as a way of dealing with practical problems. In this course, special problems that are addressed by social policy. There is an I want to shift away from the idea that theory is something out there and move instead to a way of seeing it as a way of dealing with practical problems. So in this course, the practical problems are specifically social problems that have been addressed by social policy. Theory, then, is generally a contribution to what we should do in the face of pressing social problems, the question of what to do in a particular situation, or what is the correct response, or rather, what is the correct response from a particular point of view? Different worldviews, ethical viewpoints, and theoretical standpoints give different ways of understanding social and political responses to issues. In this course, we will look at a range of the different kinds of theories that you will find underlie worldviews influencing policy. Now, if you look through the accompanying PowerPoint slides, you will see that in this course we're looking at a range or spectrum of theories from the structuralist on the one hand that see the world and human behaviours in terms of the structures that shape them, to the agentic on the other hand, that is looking at human agency as the driving force. You will get to explore in this course how you want to approach theory and how you will make use of particular theoretical skills and knowledge as we explore the different range of theories that you might find useful to look at social policy. This will also give you a sense of how the policymakers themselves have understood the world or what their particular theoretical viewpoint might have been. So, theory as a way of making sense of the world. Michael Zinzin, the American civil rights activist, talks of how theory is a necessary and useful tool for working out what's really going on. Theory lets us step back from a problem, which can be really useful when we're caught up in the middle of it. For instance, if people see a baby in the river, people have a saviour complex. They want to jump in and save the baby. Zinzin says this is fine for them, but we need to ask, who is throwing the babies in the river in the first place? Why? And what can be done about this in a larger way than just responding as the issue crops up one by one? Of course, theory needs to be used strategically. We need to choose the best theory for throwing light on a particular issue. Theory applied clumsily, chunkily, top-down, without thought for the subtleties and nuances, doesn't add any depth. A metaphor used by Robert Nozick compares theory badly applied to trying to stuff a particular reality into a frame or a box. It bulges out on one side, so you go around to the other side and try and shove it in again, overcompensating with sticky tape that makes it burst out on the other side. Theory used properly should be kind of like a kaleidoscope or a camera lens, different colours revealing different aspects of the reality. If we turn up the blue filter, or say a gendered perspective, then we get to see an angle that was obscured when we looked at it from simply a class or economic perspective. The sociological imagination, which is a term coined by Charles Wright Mills, describes this application of a different understanding of reality, that is, applying a different lens to seeing social issues. He calls this the sociological imagination. So by shifting our awareness or focusing in on a particular aspect of the historical, cultural, biographical or social structures of the arrangements within social problems, we get to see different aspects of the issue. So whether we use the metaphor of a kaleidoscope or an elephant, as you will see in the slides, or a camera, the point is to look at social issues from different angles, while also realising, of course, that no one theory or viewpoint or lens or even personal perspective will give the whole picture. Social theory, like social policy itself, is always reductionist. We're not looking for a theory of everything. I don't think there's actually been an attempt to create a proper theory of everything since Hegel. Theories throw light on one aspect of a situation. They allow us to see in greater clarity how an aspect might be approached from a particular angle. It might let us see how the issue might be differently addressed, remembering, of course, that the policymakers themselves also approached it from just one angle. So in this course, the idea is to look at a range of these social theories, to investigate what they can tell us about social problems and the social policies that have been developed to address them, or more accurately, to address the aspect of them revealed by the lens that the policymaker has conceived them through. So in this course, we will look at a range of theories, from structuralist through to agentic, and some theories that fall in the middle, and try and reconcile this tension between structure and agency. And in the assessments, we will look at how these understandings of the world have influenced representations in the media by identifying the viewpoint from which a particular issue has been described, and showing how different theoretical framing would have produced a different story, grasping different parts of the elephant, if you will. Again, please refer to the slides to unpack this metaphor. This approach aims to get you comfortable with identifying and applying theory. The final assessment then, after you've practiced on 2 news stories in the 2 parts of assessment 1, the final assessment is similar, but this time you get to analyse an entire social problem and its policy approach, then apply a different social theory lens to show how the issue might be better or at least differently addressed.